Hi, I'm Steve Richardson, and welcome to my latest video. And when it comes to running and marketing our practice, we can often fall victim to something called the bright, shiny object syndrome. We see something that another firm is doing or another business is doing to advertise or market, or we see a new app or service that we think is pretty cool, and we say, boy, we ought to do that. And you jump right in and do it. Bad idea. You really shouldn't do any of that without asking yourself these questions. Number one, why do I think it's cool? And not because just because it looks cool. And believe me, I'm a techno nerd. I fall victim to this all the time. I see something cool, I play around with it, but when it comes to actually using it, I got to give it some thought. So believe me, I can fall victim to it too. But you got to ask yourself these questions. So, why is it cool? Why do I think it's cool? That's the first question. Second question you got to ask yourself is, why do I think it will help in my practice? And be specific. This kind of goes back to the first question, why do I think it's cool? What is it going to accomplish? How is it going to help my practice specifically? So you go from the general emotional feeling of bright shiny object syndrome and go to the specific of exactly why you think it's cool and how you think it's going to help your practice, and write them down. Think about it with intentionality. The next question to ask yourself is, what specific goal will be achieved by my using this marketing strategy, app, service, whatever it is? What is the goal? What am I going to accomplish by doing this? So you're getting even more specific. How will it uh, help my practice? Well, it'll get me more clients. Well, what is your goal in getting more clients? How many? Okay. And how many do you think this particular thing, app, marketing strategy, whatever, will do? The next question to ask is, how will I measure success or failure towards achieving that goal? Now, I've talked before about marketing and advertising, and you shouldn't do anything you can't measure. You need to see how it's working. Is it working? Is it working really well? Is it working okay? Is it really not working? And that, as you follow up and look at it over time and measure it, helps you to determine, am I wasting my money continuing to do this? Should I stop and spend the money somewhere else? Or should I do more of it and double down? So, how am I going to measure this? How do I know whether this particular thing is going to achieve my goal? And finally, will it distinguish me in the market or make me look just like everybody else? Now, the problem with this is that if you see other firms doing something, some marketing idea, and you think, hey, that's cool, I should do it too, then you're just like everybody else. You're just like they are. And you are, by definition, average. You're not standing out. You're not distinguishing yourself. You're not saying to the potential client, this is why you should hire me instead of someone else. So even if you see someone else doing something, make that idea, make that strategy your own. Distinguish it. Put your mark on it so that you won't be just like everybody else. You will distinguish yourself from the crowd. And in some, what you need to do is act strategically and with intentionality whenever you see something new or something you think is cool. Because otherwise, you're just engaging what's called random acts of marketing. You're just throwing things around, ideas, throwing them up against the wall to see if they stick, without any clear goal or strategy, without any way of measuring whether it's successful or not, and can end up wasting a lot of money and really not achieving your goals. And you could have spent that money on something else that would work. So it might work, it might fail. But if it does, But if it doesn't, and you say to yourself, well, it seemed like a good idea at the time, at least you'll know why it was a good idea at the time. And you can feel a little bit better about it not working because at least you had a strategy. You knew what you were doing and you were able to measure it, find out it didn't work, and you move on. So I hope you got something out of this. I hope this has you thinking differently whenever you see those bright, shiny objects out there and you ask yourself these questions. And if after answering all of them, you say, hey, I should do this, then do it. But that's the litmus test. That's what answering those questions forces you to think strategically and with intentionality about whatever it is you're looking at to see whether it's right for your practice. So, if you like this video, be sure to smash that like button. If you're enjoying the content of this channel, be sure to hit the subscribe button, the bell icon to get notified of new videos. I release one every week. So that's it, and I'll see you in the next video.